A young couple had barely moved into their new apartment when they stumbled upon quite the spectacle. The couple across the street couldn't even be bothered to close their curtains, shamelessly getting intimate right out in the open. When Thomas spotted them, not only did he not look away, he settled in to watch without a shred of guilt. Pippa rushed to stop him, scolding him that peeping was a disgusting thing to do. But despite her righteous tone, the sight of that couple had already stirred something inside her. That night, she spritzed on some perfume, hoping to spice up their otherwise dull domestic routine. Unfortunately, Thomas was already out cold, which left Pippa more than a little disappointed. The next day at work, she complained to her friends about how unromantic her boyfriend was, and casually brought up the uninhibited couple across the street. But her coworker called her uptight, suggesting that the neighbors probably left their curtains open on purpose, that they got off on being watched. Since the neighbors were practically extending an invitation, Pippa dropped her reservations and joined Thomas in watching without a care in the world. The two of them didn't just keep tabs on the steamy scenes, they became invested in every detail of the couple's daily life. One day, Julia was lounging in the living room listening to music while Mike looked like he was in serious trouble. He couldn't breathe. Clearly something was lodged in his throat. Pippa and Thomas shouted frantically, trying to get Julia's attention, but she was completely lost in her music. The two of them were on the verge of losing it. In their desperation to call 911, they completely forgot they'd been spying on people. Luckily, before they could even dial, Julia finally noticed Mike's predicament. But her attempt at first aid was so clumsy that Pippa and Thomas were practically pulling their hair out watching. After 3 agonizing minutes, Julia finally managed to dislodge whatever was stuck. When Mike was out of danger, the two of them were more relieved than if they'd cheated death themselves. That live reality show across the street quickly became Pippa's favorite pastime. Even when she got up for a glass of water in the middle of the night, she'd happily park herself by the window for a good half hour. One day she noticed Julia hauling luggage out the door for a business trip and felt an inexplicable thrill. By the looks of it, Julia wouldn't be back for days. Pippa grew bolder, openly admiring Mike's physique. To get an even better view, she went out and bought a pair of binoculars. But when she aimed them across the street, she discovered that Mike had brought another woman home. It turned out Mike was a photographer who regularly invited models over for shoots, then used his position to turn each session into something far more personal. This discovery sent both of them into overdrive. They'd finally tasted the real thrill of voyeurism. The next day, the couple was catching up with an old college buddy, and naturally the topic of their peeping habit came up. Everyone speculated about whether the couple across the street was married, and Pippa seized the moment to float a wild idea.
I just wish we could hear what they were saying to each other.
To her surprise, the friend revealed that back in college, Thomas had secretly crushed on the prettiest girl in their class, and in an effort to learn more about her, he'd actually studied how to build a laser listening device. Pippa's eyes lit up instantly, and she badgered him relentlessly to set one up aimed at the neighbor's place. Little did she know, this move would send her down a path of no return. Back home, Thomas warned her over and over that this was flat out illegal, but Pippa wouldn't hear it and insisted he get it done immediately. Thomas couldn't win the argument, so he caved. The catch was that making the device work required placing a small mirror near the neighbor's window to reflect the laser beam. As luck would have it, Mike was throwing a costume party at his place. The two dressed up and slipped right in. Thomas ran interference while Pippa planted the mirror